Thank you for joining us. And before we get started with today's video, if you guys like what you're seeing and hearing from the Locked On Senators podcast, go ahead and hit like, smash the subscribe button so you can be the first to know about Sens content. Now, we're going to be doing a ton of these prospect profiles, so if you agree this is someone the Sens should look at or steer clear, leave your comment below so we can hear from you. Now, we got 64 of these, so let's get into it.
Coming in at number 46 on our rankings, Matyas Sapovaliv.
Another Matyas here, back-to-back Matyas's, and we talked about some undersized defenseman, Ross. Well, this is not an undersized centerman. He sits at 6'4", 190 pounds. In 68 games played, he had 18 goals, 34 assists, good for 52 points in his rookie season in the OHL with the Saginaw Spirit. And if you're watching on YouTube, Ross has the rankings up here. I would say these rankings are a little more close together, and it seems like scouts kind of have the same opinion on him, different than some of the prospects we just looked at.
Yeah, interesting to note that Scott Wheeler's the lowest on him at 64th on his rankings. Then working our way up, Craig Button has him at 46, Elite Prospects at 41, Chris Peters at 38, and Bob McKenzie at 30 for an average of 44.2. I noted here he's got the same hometown as Jaromir Jagr, Kladno, which is noteworthy. It's a town of 60,000. It's not like it's a big city or anything. And I like that he came over to play in North America. Of course, it was delayed a year because he was, waiting for the pandemic restrictions to end and be able to play. So last season, he spent playing in the under-20 league in the Czech Republic. Only got to play 6 games there, had 11 points, clearly dominating his age group in his smaller country. Got to play even in the second Czech league for Kladno, where he had just 3 assists in 12 games. But Pilsy, he came over here to the OHL and became the 4th leading scorer among rookies in the Ontario Hockey League. What strengths does he bring to the table?
Well, his strengths are his strength. just to be simple, when you're 6'4", 190 pounds in the OHL, you got to use that size to your advantage, and he certainly did that. He's able to win board battles. He works hard in front of the net, and the reason he was so high up in rookie scoring, Ross, in the OHL is he was a top center on this team your first year, so a lot of responsibility thrown at him, and it was a tough season for the Saginaw Spirit, though. They were the second worst team in the OHL in kind of all categories. It was just not a great season for them. But if you're Matyas Sapovaliv, it's great for you. You get the opportunities to play a big role. And for such a big guy, he still has soft hands, and he's a playmaker, especially on the bumper spot on the power play. I saw a couple of highlights where he's just able to read the play so well. Before he even gets the pass, Ross, he has his head up and he's aware and he knows where he's going to move that puck before it's even on his stick. And that's where there's a lot of value in hockey IQ and having a big guy that can create the space to get open. And he's like, okay, now I'm open. I'm going to receive the pass. I got a teammate in the slot. As soon as I get it, it's going over to him, and you're getting a goal. Kind of similar to the McDavid game winner, Ross. When Draisaitl gets the pass, he gets crunched right away, but he knows McDavid's right there. I'm saucing it over to him, and it leads to a great goal. So that's the kind of playmaking ability that Sapovaliv has.
Now, if I'm looking at his weaknesses, it's got to be his skating. He's got to smarten that up.
It makes sense for a guy that size.
Well, yeah, you're growing into it, but that's why I put center/left wing, because I think this left shot centerman might find his way as a winger at the next level. Because one thing that he's really good at, and I was watching the Elite Prospects draft meeting, they've got it all chaptered out, so I was able to just focus in on what Sapovaliv does. And one thing that Mitch Brown was really impressed with, guest on this show, Mitch Brown, he was able to really delay coming out of the offensive zone, almost like he realizes that skating isn't his biggest strength. So what he'll do is he's great, like you mentioned, at protecting the puck, and he'll able to get it at the defensive blue line, and then he just stops up, waits for guys to get some speed, and then he's able to find them in seams through transition. Not only that, but in the offensive zone, his vision's great. He's delaying, he's moving the puck around, getting everyone involved, but then he's able to use his big frame and get in front of the net and try to tip pucks as well. So I think that his process is there. It's just can your feet move and keep up with what your brain and your hands are telling you to do? I think that's going to be his biggest challenge getting to the next level.
Yeah, and that's fair. And Ross, I actually think the points you just laid out strengthen the argument that he should be a centerman, right? Because he needs to wait for speedy wingers to come up the zone. He likes to rove around, use his big body. He doesn't want to be stuck somewhere where he can be like, oh, there's a left winger that needs help on the board battle. Boom, swing in there and help out and win that battle. Get the puck, let the winger go up, and then pass it to him in stride. And also, when you're a big body, that helps as a centerman, and he uses it to win in the faceoff dot. According to hockeywriters.com, he won around 50% of his faceoffs in a rookie season as a first-line center in the OHL. So if you're already able to do that right away, I've got a lot of faith that he's only going to get better at it, and he's going to continue to use his size in a great way. And Hockey Writers also, they made a comparison to him to Jordan Staal, and I really like that comparison because big center that, you're not an offense first guy, but put in the right situations. Again, example, Jordan Staal, shorthanded 2-on-1. He made a great sauce pass over the body and found Vinny Trocheck for a great goal. And that's something I think this guy could do as well. When he's in the right spots, he can do it, but he's also a good two-way guy. So definitely he has skills all around. I get kind of a red flag, maybe an amber flag, not quite bright red, but he gives me Logan Brown vibes, Ross, because he's a big guy, soft hands, but doesn't throw big body checks. And
At all.
No, not at all. And I'm just worried that we're going to end up getting infatuated with the size and the hands. And when it comes to the NHL, he just can't put it all together. And he ends up just being just a big man. And that's not what you want with a high second round pick. So for me, I gave Matyas Sapovaliv 3 stars for the Sens to select him.
Yeah, I did 2.5. I think, again,
Okay.
just with the way that DJ Smith likes to have the roster play fast, I'm just not sure that he's a fit, especially down the middle. Now, NHL Central Scouting had him at 13 on the mid rankings of North American skaters. And again, a little bit of a weird situation there because he's from Europe, but they have
Yeah,
it
okay.
where they're playing right now. So
Gotcha.
obviously being in Saginaw OHL, he moved down to 23rd from 13th onto his final ranking. So it could be a guy who falls in the draft, but also I think this is the prime candidate for a team who has multiple picks in the first couple rounds. You can kind of take a high risk, high reward situation here with Matyas Sapovaliv.